Disregard Ebola, Sars and Zika. Ticks are the following worldwide well-being danger. Since the start of our species we have been at war. It's a constant, ceaseless battle against the littlest of enemies, multitudes of pathogens and parasites. As we have grown better approaches to survive and stop them, they have advanced perpetually mind-boggling and quick techniques to ruin our endeavors. People have confronted various endeavors to challenge our predominance on planet Earth, and from the Black Death to the Spanish influenza, we have weathered them all. Be that as it may, since the beginning of the 21st century, with its pattern towards worldwide interconnectedness, these assaults are consistently expanding. In the previous 17 years we have struggled, and all the more as of late the strange. These maladies appearing to show up from no place and quickly attack our populaces. One shared characteristic is that they quite often begin in creatures before bouncing crosswise over to individuals, and a couple of parasites are as great at hopping amongst creatures and individuals as. Ticks could be best depicted as the utilized syringes of the common world because of their indiscriminate nourishing propensities. Most ticks experience 3 phases in their lives and feast upon an alternate host at each stage, while at the same time gathering bumming ride microorganisms in their blood dinners. Ticks additionally have one of the vastest dispersions of any vector on Earth. They can be found on each mainland, including sub-zero Antarctica. This mix of pervasiveness and a negative behavior pattern for collecting pathogenic microorganisms make ticks the absolute most perilous vectors on the planet. So why ticks? What's more, why now? Somewhat. This is on the grounds that ticks have been understudied for so long that alone as of late have we started to acknowledge exactly the amount they influence our well-being. It took until 1975 for the even to be formally depicted, and today the rundown of organisms found inside ticks becomes ever bigger consistently as various new species are found. Changing biological systems are additionally constraining ticks into nearer contact with people. Maybe the most prompt changes are being driven via arrived clearing, which is compelling untamed life into nearer contact with people. With natural life come ticks and the infections they convey. Environmental change has additionally been involved. As the atmosphere gets hotter, a few ticks are growing their extents into places where cool winter temperatures beforehand restricted their dissemination. Topographical limits are likewise being dissolved as fast transport joins conditions which were already segregated from each other. This presents simple open door for ticks to cross outskirts and spread to new living spaces they might not have beforehand involved. So, our control of nature has set the phase for a tick-driven well-being emergency. Ticks can convey to a great degree wide exhibit of human pathogens, including microscopic organisms, infections, and protozoa. Inside the not insignificant rundown of human illnesses caused by ticks, a few perilous sicknesses emerge. While the acknowledgement of Lyme sickness has prompted a more prominent investigation of the microorganisms which cause it and more successive testing for patients, it has been a two-folded sword, as its reputation has dominated similarly critical maladies like tick-borne rickettsiosis, TBR. TBR is caused by various distinctive microorganisms disseminated over the globe. Tragically, TBR regularly gives signs and side effects like Lyme sickness, for example, rashes, joint and muscle torment, and weariness. In spite of the fact that passings are uncommon when TBR is treated with antimicrobials like doxycycline, when the infection is mistakenly analyzed or satisfactory medicinal framework is deficient with regards to, mortalities can in any case happen. Babesiosis is a developing tick-borne sickness caused by a protozoan called Babesia, a species identified with the organism which causes intestinal sickness. The illness is once in a while tried for by specialists and the worldwide levels of human contamination are obscure, albeit a few scientists trust that they might be considerably higher than show rates of determination demonstrate. Contaminations can be profoundly fatal, with about a fourth of tainted grown-ups hinting at the ailment, while others will bite the dust from the disease. In truth, the malady is still inadequately comprehended in people, which is aggravated by the way that few types of Babesia cause the sickness and the signs and manifestations can be far-reaching and regularly incorporate fever, weariness, pallor, and queasiness, every basic component of different ailments. Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever, CCHF, is maybe the most unnerving sickness spread by ticks, as there are no medications accessible, and death rates can be as high as 40% in contaminated people. To place it into point of view, that death rate is like untreated instances of Ebola or the bubonic torment. The World Health Organization sees CCHF infection as having a high shot of causing human ailment pestilences and has in like manner coordinated significant subsidizing towards finding a treatment, in spite of the fact that to date none have been created. The wide circulation of tick vectors fit for spreading the sickness combined with the capacity of regular residential creatures, for example, sheep and dairy cattle, to keep up the CCHF infection in their blood at abnormal states implies the potential for CCHF to venture into new areas like Europe is exceedingly plausible. While just found in 2009, SFDS infection, extreme fever with thrombocytopenia disorder, has started boundless dread through quite a bit of Asia, particularly in Japan, where 57 individuals have kicked the bucket of the illness since 2013. Indications of the illness can go in seriousness from generally gentle, similar to fever and looseness of the bowels, to extreme, which can incorporate various organ disappointment. The way that the study of disease transmission of the illness is so inadequately known makes anticipating and controlling its spread troublesome. It is additionally known to be conveyed by no less than 2 cosmopolitan tick species which are spread all through the world from the UK, to the US, and even Australia. That may sound sufficiently terrible, yet things are far and away more terrible, in spite of the fact that the ailment regularly gets to people by means of a tick. From that point it can spread to different people or their pets and back again into ticks who feast upon tainted hosts. Ticks are omnipresent, hazardous, and are coming into ever more noteworthy contact with us. We should perceive that the following general well-being emergency may originate from our lawns as opposed to a remote tropical wilderness in Africa or Asia.